Hi, I'm Ayanna Smith, and I'm the owner of the Escape Lounge Escape Rooms in Washington, D.C., where you can escape the Oval Office or escape the classroom. Essentially, escape rooms are team games where you work together to solve a mystery in a set amount of time. In addition to the Escape Lounge, I'm also the founder of Riddles, which is a web-based app for escape games to be played in any environment, including your home, office, or school. And I'm also the founder of Me Tshirts, which is a t-shirt line dedicated to sparking conversation. So the goal is to get people to put their telephones down and have face-to-face conversation about tough topics. If you're interested in any of these projects, please feel free to call me at 202-664-0900. Well, it kind of happened by accident. I wasn't really looking to open up an escape room business. I was looking to open up an indoor play center for children. And when I started to speak to funders about financing that type of venue, I was told with your PR background and not having experience in the entertainment industry, you're probably not going to be able to secure that type of funding. So maybe you want to consider another type of entertainment business to get that experience. Around the same time, I was learning about escape rooms, and they were becoming popular in the US. And so I thought to open up an escape room for children because there were no escape rooms for children anywhere in the country. So turns out we were the first to open up an escape room business for children.
Is that here in this facility?
Yes. So we have Escape the Oval Office, which is an escape room for anyone, any age. And then we have Escape the Classroom, which is an escape game designed exclusively for children.
So how does an escape room work? What does this really mean?
So it's a team game. Escape rooms are team games. Essentially, you work with a team of people to solve a series of puzzles, clues, and riddles that lead to a key to escape the room. And each escape room is different. They all have different themes and different designs and different types of clues. But that's pretty much how escape rooms work.
Besides the initial funding challenge regarding your particular experience and what you were trying to do, what were some of the other big challenges you had with opening a facility like this?
Well, I mean, in addition to getting funding to start a business, you also have to secure a venue. And that was also a challenge with not having experience. A lot of commercial real estate owners are not really interested in renting to business owners that don't have a history of renting, a rental history. And so that was a challenge in itself. And when we found this space, it just turned out to be my lucky day because the owner of the business, the space had been empty for a very long time. There's a restaurant downstairs. The owner owns multiple spaces on this block and was willing to give us an opportunity because this wasn't a space that he had been renting for many years. So he was willing to give us an opportunity. He was very curious about escape rooms, and he really liked our business acumen and was willing to give us a chance.
What do you like most about this?
I like to see people have a good time. And I like I like helping people make memories. That's probably what I enjoy the most. But it's a lot of work.
How do you create the challenges that the clients have to then solve to escape?
So coming up with the scenarios, with the themes for the room, is a group effort. We take ideas from customers. Sometimes the ideas just come in the middle of the night. Essentially, we write a storyline for the mystery and then start to work on what types of clues would fit into that storyline and develop the game and then test it over and over again until it works smoothly.
Is developing the challenges the most challenging part of a business like this?
It is. I mean, a lot of it is developing the game is definitely a challenge because sometimes things sound good. They sound like they make sense until you see people playing the game, and then some of the clues don't necessarily work together like you thought they did, and so you're back to square one. So it's not as simple as it seems. But there are many other challenges to owning and operating a brick and mortar business.
Is there any kind of online component to this? What if people can't come visit this particular escape lounge? What do you offer anything else?
Since we've been open, we've gotten a lot of requests for um, us to bring the experience to corporations, to do team building, to schools. And so we decided to launch a web-based app, which is called Riddles, RIDLZ, which will launch this summer and allow people to play escape games anywhere in their own environment, including home, office, or school. So the first iteration of Riddles is Classroom Riddles. And those are escape games, Common Core standards-based escape games for teachers to use in the classroom to teach critical thinking and collaboration skills.
Do you have any partners lined up yet who are trying this out?
So we haven't started the testing. We do have a number of teachers who've signed up to test Riddles, and from after it's been tested, and we'll start to speak to school districts about using Riddles in the classrooms.
You've done quite a bit with this. Just even opening a storefront of any kind is a significant accomplishment. What hard lessons have you learned that you can share with others that might make their path a little easier?
When I think of, I've learned a lot of lessons, and the most important one is just to be agile. I'm a planner, and I like things to go a certain way. So when things don't go my way, which happens quite often when you're a business owner, you have to be willing to change and to pivot in a different direction. So that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. I've also learned a lot of lessons about dealing with people as customers and knowing when it's okay to say no to money. I honestly feel like not all money is good money, and sometimes not every customer is going to fit into your vision for your brand, and it's okay to say no sometimes to money. That's a very important lesson that I've learned.
What are you doing when you're not running the escape lounge?
Well, I'm always running my businesses because as a business owner, an entrepreneurship is 24 hours a day, but I'm also a mother of a toddler and an 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 8-year-old. So I'm also, when I'm not running businesses, I'm being a mom.
So you said businesses. What else are you doing?
So in addition to the Escape Lounge, I also own, and Riddles, I also own Ask Me Tshirts, which is a new t-shirt line dedicated to getting people to put their telephone down and have face-to-face conversations about tough topics. So I kind of have been toying with curating a conversation series around the t-shirt topics.
How do these t-shirts work?
So recently the t-shirts were used by DC Water in their Women of Water conference for Women's History Month. The t-shirts were used as icebreakers in the icebreaker session. So there were 4 themes that were used for this conference. Ask me about my superpowers, ask me what I stand for, ask me what I know for sure, and there's a 4th one that I don't remember. But the t-shirts, each conference attendee received a t-shirt in their registration bag, and when the icebreaker session started, they moved around a room to talk about the topics that were on their t-shirts. And that's pretty much how they work. You have a topic on your t-shirt, and the goal is for people to have conversations about these topics.
You mentioned your public relations background earlier. Do you have any business interests with using that experience?
Well, I definitely use my PR background in everything I do. In my community advocacy work, in my entrepreneurship, and promoting my own businesses. So those skills come in handy, and there's not a day that goes by where I'm not using my PR skills.
Well, let's hear more about the community advocacy. What are you doing?
Well, community advocacy, I do a lot. I'm very dedicated to promoting high quality education east of the river in Washington, D.C. And just bringing my community together. So I'm the organizer for the first Southeast DC Porch Fest, which is a festival of mini concerts on front porches, which will take place May 20th, 2018 in Southeast DC. And I have a lot of other causes that I'm dedicated to in Washington, D.C.
What big goals do you have for 2018? What are you trying to get done by December 31st?
What are my goals for 2018? I think, to be honest, a lot of my ideas have been innovative, but often ahead of my time. And so I'm trying to, my goal for 2018 is to actually make money off of my businesses. I feel like in the past, they've just been really good ideas that people really admire, but haven't been as lucrative as I've wanted them to. So my goal is to research more ways to find to be lucrative, for my businesses to be lucrative.
That's a common challenge. How do you get from here to there? Because a lot of business owners know how to do what they do, but they don't know how to make money from it effectively. How are you gonna solve that problem?
Well, I think that going back to being agile, what I think happens is a lot of business owners get dead set on operating their business a certain way. Whatever that goal was or that dream was that you had, people tend to stick to that and not really realize that if it's not working, sometimes you have to try something new. And I think that often, I know for myself, oftentimes small businesses overlook a lot of revenue streams that are probably low-hanging fruit. And so my goal for 2018 is to try to grab some of that low-hanging fruit that I've been overlooking for the last 4 years. I have a meetup groups, a DC Small Business Collaborative, and a Facebook group, same DC Small Business Collaborative, and the same group on LinkedIn. And the goal with those groups is for small businesses to come together to discuss these things and to share this type of information with one another. I don't have all the answers, but I may have some answers that you may not have, and you may have some answers that I may not have, or be privy to opportunities that the next small business owner may not know about. So the goal with this collaborative is to bring small businesses together to discuss all of these different types of resources that we're learning about every day.
I feel like you have so much to offer and you have your hands in so many things that nobody would know if they didn't know to ask specifically. So I want you to share some things that you have to offer to the world that we might not know to ask about. What else are you doing?
So there's always a lot. I'm a visionary. I am a dreamer. So there's always a fresh idea. There's always an innovative idea. Sometimes I have to tell myself this is one that's going to have to be tabled for another time. And then sometimes there are ideas that I just move forward with because I feel like it's something that may pay off in the long run. So you asked me today, the answer may be one thing, and then tomorrow the answer may be another thing, because I'm always moving and I'm always looking for new things to do and creative ways to use my talents.
Where can people reach you for more information?
For more information about Ayanna Smith, you can reach me at 202-664-0900.
Ayanna Smith, CEO, serial entrepreneur. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.